Hey all, welcome back to Fire and Water Cooking. I am Darren, and today, boy, we're going to start something pretty amazing. I haven't done this in a while, and I haven't done it with this type of brisket. I got a wild fork, actually I got a Wagyu, American Wagyu aged brisket here from Wild Fork, and you can see the link below to check out Wild Fork. But this is, like I said, American Wagyu beef, so it's well marbled. It does have some fat on it I'm going to trim, but we're going to turn it into pastrami, guys. That's why I got my big bucket out here. I got some water heating up to make a brine, so we're going to have to corn it first, and then we're going to make pastrami. So it's going to take a little over a week, but I'll show you how I'm going to get it started. Be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from Fire and Water.
Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. So there's plenty of fat on here I need to get trimmed off. Even though I'm making pastrami and I want it to be fatty, since this is a Wagyu, American Wagyu brisket, it's already well marbled, and I don't need a lot of this big hard fat on here. So before I do that though, I'm going to get my brine ready because my water is actually getting up to be warm enough to take the stuff that I'm going to put in the brine. So first of all, I'm going to put a link below to Amazing Ribs brine calculator and just exactly what you need for the size brisket that you're wanting. And it's for corned beef, but all pastrami is smoked corned beef. So if you look down below at the link for Amazing Ribs, it'll show you exactly the measurements that you're going to need for your brine. So it does give you an option to use the pickling spices, but since I have a big jug of them, I'm going to go ahead and use them. Kosher salt and Prague powder #1, which is pickling salt. So that's what we're going to use, guys. I like to heat my water up first, and I usually get a big bucket like this and heat it up because it makes everything blend together well in the water and get actually dispersed. So first thing I'm going to put in is my salt. Then I'm going to put in the Prague powder, which is the pickling salt. And then I'm going to put the pickling spices in there. And I'm just going to let them sit in there for a little bit. And then I'm going to take a spoon and just stir them up, make sure they're getting well incorporated. Alright, when I come back, guys, I'm going to show you how I'm going to trim this up. Alright guys, before I get this trimmed, I'm going to go ahead and just give this a quick stir. Let that salt kind of mingle in real quick. It is already warm, and I don't want this to boil or anything. I just want it to stay kind of warm like this so that the salts dissolve into this water. So we're going to have a highly salinated water brine here, and then we're going to put a little bit more water in here and ice to cool this down, because you don't want to put the brine in there hot or warm, because you don't want it to cook it at all. You just want it to incorporate those salts and dissolve them pretty well, and then kind of opens up the pickling spices as well, to kind of get the peppercorns and all that, and the herbs to open up a little bit. Even though this won't penetrate, the pickling spices won't penetrate deep, they'll still penetrate enough on the exterior to get a nice little flavor to them. I'm going to turn the heat down on that because I don't want it to boil. So first off, I'm going to do, guys, like I said, check out the this is only $7.98 here from Wild Fork for a American Wagyu brisket, which is a pretty good deal. I mean, I've paid more than that for prime briskets sometimes. So this is a whole packer, so you are going to have to trim it up. It does have both the flat and the point section, and like I said, I'm just going to really try not to spill all the bag purge here. Get that into my trash can real quick without spilling it, thank goodness. All right, guys, like you can tell here, we got this big chunk of fat right here in the decal, which is right where the point and the flat come together. So we're going to cut any big chunks of fat off that we don't want. All right, guys, I'm just going to cut off a lot of the bigger chunks of the fat. I'm going to leave most of the fat cap on the other side on. So just getting a lot of these bigger chunks that are not going to render, that are just going to slow down the process. So pretty much that's all you got to do to trim it up. It's not very hard. Just these big, huge pieces of fat, especially around the decal area, is what you're going to trim. And leaving most of the fat cap on the other side on. All right, guys, I'm going to finish this up and I'll show you what I'm going to do before I put it in the brine. All right, guys, so I got my brisket trimmed. Like I said, I'm leaving a good amount of fat on the interior here and some on the outside here because we are going to smoke this completely after we brine it. We're not going to sous vide it this time. I just feel like I want to get a nice, long, good smoke on this, get it nice and tender, get a nice, good penetration of smoke on here without having to waste another 2 or 3 days in the sous vide bath. So I got a bunch of ice in my bucket here, and I'm going to go ahead and dump my brine. I did shut the burner off a little while ago, but it is still kind of warm. But the brine is completely dissolved in there. Probably going to have to put a little bit more water in here to make sure it's covered all the way. But I just want to cool this brine down before we stick that meat in there, just to make sure that we're not cooking this meat at all or having any kind of bacteria grow in here just because it's warm. So it looks like it's cooled down a good bit because most of that ice is melted. And then we're going to stick this thing in the fridge for a good 7 days. So I'll see you again in 7 days when we take this thing out, and I'll show you how we're going to make the pastrami rub and do all that. So let me get this in, and like I said, I'll probably have to put just a little bit more water in here, but I'll do that inside when I'm on my way to the refrigerator so that we don't spill this all over the place. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you in 7 days. All right, all, it's been a week, and I just took my brisket out of the refrigerator and out of the brine. I washed it down as good as I could to get most of the brine off. There's still some of the pickling spice seasoning stuff on here, just a couple little pieces of dried herbs and stuff, but I'm okay with that. Okay, I've got my pastrami rub ready, and I'm going to put a link down below to the pastrami rub that I use, which is from AmazingRibs.com, and it's closest to Kat's pastrami rub, so it's pretty easy to put together. So just check that out below. I'm going to be smoking this on the Kamado Joe Classic 3 today. I haven't used this thing in a while, on the videos especially, but I decided that that's what I wanted to do, is go back to using the Kamado Joe on this. We're going to do it right about 2 1/4, and as for as long as it takes. We're going to cook it just like we would a regular brisket. I want to get it up to right just over 200 degrees to get it nice and tender and render a lot of this fat down. We're going to be using the Tyfer, this is the Tyfer sink, and it is got the internal and external probes to monitor both the internal temperature of the meat and the external temperature of the cooker. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to show you, before I get this thing going, what I'm going to use for smoke today, because it's something different, something I've never used before, and it's not wood. So I'll be right back, show you what that's going to be. All right, guys, like I said, we're going to be using something different. It's not wood, it's pecan shells. These are pecan shells made by the same company that makes the smoking pecan pellets. This is the same pecan shells that they use to make their pellets with, but they also sell the pecan shells themselves so that you can use these for smoke. So that's what we're going to do today. I got my Kamado Joe Classic 3 coming up to temp. It's right now sitting just right at about 210. We're gonna wait till it gets up to 225 on a stable time frame, and then we're gonna go ahead, put these pecan shells in there, and then finish putting the heat deflectors and the grates in there to put the pastrami on. But let me go get the pastrami, or the corned beef right now. Let's go get it all seasoned up for our pastrami. And by the time we get that all done, our smoker should be up to temp. I'll be back. All right, guys, super simple. All we're going to do is completely coat this outside of the brisket with the pastrami rub. It's still pretty wet surface here, so it's going to stick pretty good. So just get it covered pretty much completely, and then you're going to be good to go. So let's get that done, and I'll see you over at the smoker. All right, guys, my temperature is up to 250 here on the smoker. It's time to put the pecan shells on. As you can tell, I'm using lump charcoal, and the thing I like about these pecan shells is they actually go in between, fall in between the spaces here on the lump. It's going to work out really good. We'll have smoke for a long time. All right, guys, it's time to put the probes in. I'm going to put one in the flat section and one in the point section here, so we can monitor the thin part and the thick part of the cook, just to make sure we can get that temperature up to over 200 degrees. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I did decide to use a water pan today on this. I'm going to go ahead and put my heat deflectors in right there, about an inch away from the fire, so they're going to keep the fire under control. Put my water pan right on top of that, and then put my racks here right on top. I am going to use another rack here because the brisket is really too long for this cooker. But if you drape it over this rack, it's going to make it to where it fits perfectly inside the Kamado Joe. All right, I'll see you when we're smoking. All right, guys, it's been in there about 4 hours already, and one of my probes is actually getting pretty close to the 204 mark. I think that's the one that's in the thinner part of the flat, so I don't know how true that is. I'm going to go ahead and use my instant read, kind of feel it up a little bit, show you what it's looking like right now. There you go. It's actually looking pretty good. It's got a nice bark on there. But I don't know, I don't think it's quite done to the doneness I want. Yeah, it's still got a ways to go here. Be getting to this thicker part. Still in the 170 range, 160 range here. So we got a little bit ways, 172. So I'm going to take out the one that's in the thinner part, 173. I'm going to take this one out because it's giving me some bad readings. And we'll kind of turn this a little bit. And we'll put it back in. I'm going to put a little bit of water on here just so my crust doesn't get too dried out. And it gets a little bit more smoke to it. But it's looking good, guys. All right, guys, I think I'm going to be able to take this thing off now. I did a instant read probe, and most of it is over 200. It's just the spot in the middle that's still kind of sitting there at about 190. But I think we're okay. As you can tell, I took a slice off of there, and it tasted pretty damn good to me. Take a look at that. It's just sitting there on the smoker. We're going to take it off. I'll see you over there on the cutting board, and we'll take a slice. Well, there you go, guys. Take a look at that. It's a big old hunk of meat, Wagyu Pastrami. I'm going to go ahead and cut it right in the middle, right down the middle here, so you guys can take a look. Oh, there's still a bunch of fat in there. Take a look at that. That looks amazing. Oh. I'm gonna cut right here. It's like they would at Cats. Look at that piece right there, guys. It's got a little bit of fat there from the point. A little bit of lean from the flat. Woo! Still pretty hot. Those pecan shells get a really good smoke profile. It's not overly smoked, just very different, but very good. I think I like those. And I got a lot of smoke during the whole cook. Because they're so small, they went in between all the pieces of lump. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Check out these Wagyu briskets from Wild Fork down below. And go ahead, turn them into pastrami. It's excellent. Oh, this has got to be better than Katz's. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and I'll see you on the next Fire and Water cooking video.